Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Viking Field on the campus of Western Washington University for the 2024 GNAC Softball Championships. Today is Championship Saturday, featuring the number 2 seeded Western Washington University Vikings, the visiting team in this game, and the number 1 seeded Northwest Nazarene University Nighthawks. The Vikings enter today's game with a record of 41-7 overall. They are ranked number 14 nationally. The Nighthawks enter today's game with a record of 39-9, and they are ranked number 13 in the NFCA Coaches Poll. Now let's meet the starting lineups for both teams, but first let's meet the reserve players, the student athletes from Western Washington University. This will be in numerical order. For the Vikings, number 3, Rachel Traxler. Number 4, Amaya Davis. Number 6, Kiana Kong. Number 10, Emily McCutcheon. Number 11, Riley Anderson. Number 12, Hanako Hirai. Number 13, Joey Baker. Number 17, Evelyn Messina. Number 18, Isabella Bay. Number 20, Layla Carpenter. Number 32, Alexis Slater. And number 99, Paris Delamagore. Those are your Vikings non-starters. Now let's meet the starting 9 for the Vikings, as announced by head coach Cheryl Gilmore, assistant coaches Sharina Labasan, Leah Francis, and Forrest Longenecker, and athletic trainer Thomas Silverberger. Leading off at third base, number 8, Malia Andrews. Batting second in left field, number 2, Lexi Barkham. Batting third at shortstop, number 1, Healy Ratt. Batting cleanup at catcher, number 38, Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez. The designated player, batting fifth, number 22, Emily Paulson. Batting sixth at second base, number 15, Connie Patoy. Batting seventh at first base, number 5, Ashley Jacobson. In center field, batting eighth, number 16, Taylor Karami. Batting ninth in right field, number 14, McKenna Crum. In the circle for the Vikings, freshman right-hander, Allie Kimball. Those are your Western Washington University Vikings. Now let's meet the student athletes for Northwest Nazarene University, the non-starters in numerical order. Number 5, Kaylee Duncan. Number 6, Emily Romero. Number 7, Alyssa Jeffrey. Number 10, Mari Kamamoto. Number 11, Lindsay Kiala. Number 15, Lauren Bergevin. Number 16, Mia Traylor. Number 18, Olivia Davies. Number 19, Emily Hernandez. Number 22, Annie Swanson. And number 23, Olivia Bailey. And here are the starters for the Nighthawks as announced by head coach Rick Wagner, assistant coaches Hallie Swanson, Brittany Genuardi, Riley Thomas, and athletic trainer Jamie May. Batting leadoff, the second baseman, number 14, Emma Mulligan. Batting second at shortstop, number 4, Clarissa Moreno. Batting third, the designated player, number 24, Sydney Booth. Batting cleanup at first base, number 12, Emma Bumate. Batting fifth, playing third base, number 3, Abigail Gagnon. Batting sixth in left field, number 13, KK Bell. At catcher, batting seventh, number 21, Kelsey Adams. In right field, batting eighth, number 20, Jamie Obringer. And batting ninth in center field, number 9, Ava Clark. In the circle for the Nighthawks, senior right-hander Gina Skinner. Those are your NNU Nighthawks starters. Umpires for today's first game, behind the plate, Tom Heaton. At first base, Dennis Allen. And at third base, Jay Gomeza. Fans, at this time, we ask that you all please rise if able. Remove your caps and direct your attention to the flag in right field next to the scoreboard for the playing of our national anthem. Softball Championships is a double elimination tournament. Western Washington entered today's game with a 2-0 tournament record. Northwest Nazarene is 2-1. It's Championship Saturday right here at Viking Field. The GNAC Championship.
Welcome to Viking Field. Championship Saturday is upon us here in the GNAC Softball Championship. Sean Wally with Adam Race. Northwest Nazarene and Western Washington for the GNAC title. One of these two teams will win it today.
Sean, this is the big one. This is what these teams have played for all season. The two favorites this year in the GNAC, two teams ranked in the national top 15 at number 13 and number 14. Number 1 and 2 in the West region. Western Washington's tournament has been slightly more successful than NNU, purely by the fact that they defeated them yesterday, sending NNU to the losers bracket where they would defeat St. Martin's University. But that means coming into this one, we've got a doubleheader that Western only needs to win 1 out of 2 games to claim the GNAC title and break NNU's 2-year stranglehold on the GNAC tournament title.
Western Washington would prefer to do that early and in the first game and not have to add pressure and get to a second game, but NNU has other thoughts.
Absolutely, and one thing to note is that the pregame coin toss won by the visiting team, technically in NNU. They will be the home team for this matchup, so maybe a slight advantage in game 1, but Western Washington has been able to get out early in this tournament, take leads and hold them. If they can do the same today, that is the path they want to take.
We are set for action. Malia Andrews leading things off for Western Washington. They lost the coin flip, so they are the pseudo visitor even in their home ballpark. Gina Skinner in the circle for Northwest Nazarene.
The early story here is Sydney Booth, the GNAC Pitcher of the Year, not starting this first game here, saving her for a possible second game, putting Gina Skinner in the circle. And I got to say, Sean, I don't disagree with this decision by Rich Wagner. Gina Skinner has been excellent versus the Vikings this year. When they came here in GNAC play earlier this season, Skinner tossed 2 complete game shutout wins. Over 16 total innings, she only allowed 1 earned run versus the Vikings this season. She's given up 11 hits, struck out 5, and has not given up a single extra base hit.
Quickly 0-2 to Malia Andrews, the Viking third baseman, hitting .350 this season.
Andrews has been the offensive story of the tournament for Western Washington.
Slow ground ball to shortstop. Moreno throws over in time. Out number 1 here on the top of the first.
These are a couple of teams at the top of the GNAC as far as fielding percentage goes. You're going to have to put the ball in play with some serious exit velo if you're going to want to guarantee yourself a base hit.
Left fielder Lexi Barkham now for the Vikings. Nobody on, 1 down. A Viking victory gives them the GNAC championship. An NNU victory means we play 2.
For Western Washington, looking for their first tournament title since 2021. Last 3 titles have been won by one of these 2 programs, but NNU becoming the first back-to-back tournament champions in GNAC history, 22 and 23.
A pitch outside, count even 1-1.
How about the season Lexi Barkham is having over in left field, batting .329 on the season, OBP at .415, a real breakout season with the bat, and it really started heating up over that 17-game winning streak the Vikings put together.
She went on the swing, made an attempt, 1-2 now.
Completely fooled on that pitch from Skinner off speed. Her timing was way off and couldn't hold up.
The 1-2. Look at the slow change on that. Just outside, though.
She went right back to it there, threw the off speed twice in a row. Barkham looked to be off on the timing that time as well, but luckily for her, pitch was outside.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, top of the first. Barkham back up the middle, a nice stop at second base. The throw is not in time. Great effort by Emma Mulligan.
Hey, Mulligan made a really nice play on that ball, diving off to her right, but Barkham runs very well, got up the line in a hurry and batting from the left-handed batter's box, getting a couple extra steps as well. Too quick.
Haley Rath, the Viking shortstop, into the box now.
Haley Rath, the GNAC Player of the Year, leading the GNAC with a batting average right now at .387.
One ball to her. Skinner walks to the back of the circle to collect her thoughts. Outfielders straight away. That ball foul. Count even at 1-1.
Rath has cooled down a little bit coming into this tournament. She's just 1 for 6 over the 2 tournament games we played so far. She did have an RBI sac fly in the game between these 2 teams yesterday, an insurance run the Vikings didn't end up needing in a 4-2 win.
The 1-1. Lofted to left field. Right there to make the catch for Northwest Nazarene is Bell. 2 down for the Vikings here in the top of the first.
That's got to be a little bit frustrating for Rath. She timed that swing perfectly, just didn't catch a barrel, not a lot of exit velo on it, and it was an easy play in the end for Bell out and left.
Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez now, the Viking catcher with 2 down here in the top of the first. Skinner fires one over for strike 1.
Andrzejewski Ramirez has been a thorn in the side of the Nighthawks all season. All 3 times the Vikings have beat Northwest Nazarene this year, the game-winning RBI has come from Andrzejewski Ramirez.
That pitch looks good, and it is. Andrzejewski Ramirez not taking the bat off the shoulder yet.
Usually someone we see throw a couple big hacks early in the count, but she's been walked a lot in this tournament. She got walked 3 times yesterday, so maybe looking to just get on base.
The 0-2 just got a piece to stay alive. Nice to see a decent crowd on hand here at Viking Field. Of course, it helps that the host team is in the championship. A lot of locals in attendance.
Biggest event of the season so far here at Viking Field.
The 0-2, the change, popped into shallow center. There to make the catch for Northwest Nazarene is Ava Clark, and that is how the top of the first will end. No runs for the Vikings. NNU, their chance up next here on GNAC.TV.
The Nighthawks, number 14, Emma Mulligan.
We head to the bottom of the first in Game 1 on Championship Saturday. Western Washington with a victory. They will win the GNAC Championship here in 2024. NNU with a victory forces a second game later this afternoon. Bottom 1 we go. Emma Mulligan at the plate takes a look at ball 1 from Allie Kimball. Sean Wally with Adam Race. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday afternoon.
Allie Kimball, 1.34 ERA on the season. Sean, I got to tell you, I'm a little bit surprised to see her get the start here. Both of the losses Western has had against NNU have been with Kimball in the circle. It looks like she's going to get a quick first out here.
Guide to second base. Catch made there by Patoy. 1 down quickly for the Nighthawks.
Kimball has had an excellent freshman season. I mentioned that 1.34 ERA, one of the best in the GNAC, a 16-2 win-loss record Only 13 walks to 66 strikeouts over 109 innings pitched. Opponents batting just .219 against her. Last time out, she started day one, game one against St. Martin's, went 4 innings, gave up just 3 hits and no earned runs.
Clarissa Moreno, the shortstop for the Nighthawks, takes a look at strike one. 60 degrees, cloudy, sun trying to break through. No threat of rain. Earlier in the weekend, this tournament, we thought it might have some rain issues on Saturday, but that is moved on to Sunday. So we should have no issue getting 1 or possibly 2 games in.
Beautiful weather and the most beautiful setting in the GNAC. Tree-studded hills over the center field fence.
Breeze blowing towards right field. 1-2 the count to Moreno. She's batting .329 this season.
Moreno 2 for 11 in this tournament. She's got a double and a home run, 2 RBIs, hitting those yesterday. The home run coming in the 8-0 win against St. Martin's, which put NNU in this final.
That pitch just a bit outside. Vikings wanted that, didn't get the strikeout call. 2-2.
Moreno's just 3 of 16 against the Vikings this season.
Kimball, a long look in. She's ready with the 2-2. Strike 3 called. She paints the inside corner.
And that's the control that you're going to see from Allie Kimball. That leads to not a lot of walks and also a lot of strikeouts looking. Paints the corner on that one. Beautiful pitch from the freshman.
Sydney Booth not pitching in this one, at least yet, but she will be hitting. She is the designated player for NNU with 2 down here in the bottom of the first.
The rare luxury NNU has in Sydney Booth, someone who is elite in the circle and with the bat. In the 3 spot coming into this game, batting .275. She's had an off tournament in the batter's box, though, yet to pick up a hit. She's 0 for 9 in GNAC tournament play in 2024. Last 2 seasons, she's been the tournament MVP.
The 1-0 from Kimball. Outside corner, yes. 1-1 the count.
Went back to that same spot that got the strikeout looking on Moreno and found it once again. Kimball looked dialed early on.
If there's a game to be dialed in for, it is this one.
Absolutely.
Kimball's 1-1. 1-2 as Booth cannot connect.
Swing and miss stuff as well as finding the corners.
Booth hitting .275 on the season. Kimball, the 1-2. Just a bit outside.
That's a close pitch right there. Booth hitting .275 right now. That's a little bit low for her standards. When she came to Viking Field earlier this season, she came in sporting an ERA around 1 and a batting average around .400.
The 2-2 with 2 down. Another strikeout. Down goes Booth swinging. And the Nighthawks are done in the first. We head to the top of the second. No score in Bellingham on GNAC.TV. Back here at Viking Field in Bellingham, Washington, on the campus of Western Washington University. Sean Wally with Adam Race. We head to the top of the second. It is designated player Emily Paulson for the Vikings.
Really like the way Emily Paulson's been swinging the bat in this tournament, the senior presence on this team. One of 4 seniors in this roster, her and Taylor Karami, a couple of seniors in this order right now. In the tournament, she's 3 for 6 with a walk and a run scored. Versus NNU this season, she's 3 for 7 across 2 contests.
Skinner painted the inside corner for strike 1. She's ready with the 0-1. Same spot, but just a little more inside, ball 1.
Skinner giving up the first hit of the game in that first inning, but hits are going to be hard to come across against Skinner. She has been excellent this season, pitching to a 1.46 ERA, 13-2 win-loss record.
The 1-1 to Paulson. Ground ball to third, easily handled the throw across in time for out number 1. Abigail Gagnon swallowed that up at third base. 1 down for the Vikings here in the second.
First action for Gagnon over at the hot corner today. Couple of ground balls, make that 3 ground balls that Skinner's induced so far. One of them going for an infield base hit and a couple of easy putouts.
Connie Patoy now, the second baseman for the Vikings. Takes a look at ball 1.
Patoy, an extremely experienced junior. This is her 3rd season as a full-time Vikings starter.
A pitch a little high and outside, 2-0. Big gap in right center field and also up the middle in the infield.
Patoy, a player with a very good eye. She's only struck out 10 times this season. That's the 3rd lowest in this starting batting order for the Vikings.
Skinner's 2-0. Low, ball 3.
First 3-0 count we've seen.
Control issues for Skinner to Patoy. 1 down, top 2 here in Bellingham. The 3-0 right there for strike 1.
Now Skinner's averaging about a walk every 10 innings that she pitches, so there's not going to be a lot of free passes given out if that holds true, but Patoy in a hitter's count right now. See what she can do with it.
The 3-1, right back to Skinner. Glove was there, she was ready. Right place, right time, look what I found.
Patoy made the right contact, but Skinner, a little self-defense reaction there. Gets the glove up and snares it, helping herself out.
Two down now for the Vikings here in the top of the second. Ashley Jacobson, the first baseman, gets her first chance at the dish. Ground ball to short. Nicely handled there by Moreno, and that ends the Vikings' top of the second. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Nighthawks up next. No score in Bellingham on GNAC.TV.
Now batting for the Nighthawks, number 12, Emma Bumate.
Bottom of the second we go here at Viking Field. The GNAC Championships. Sean Wally with Adam Race. The dangerous Emma Bumate in the box for the Nighthawks.
Bumate, the leading power threat on this Northwest Nazarene roster, and we saw her send one deep into left center field yesterday, very far over that fence in that victory against St. Martin's. One of 2 home runs the Nighthawks would hit in that 8-0 victory.
Bumate now with 8 home runs after that launcher into left center yesterday, the 0-1. Takes a look at a ball one.
That's a good pitch against an aggressive batter. Ended up low, well watched by Bumate.
Bumate, Gagnon, and Bell here in the second for the Nighthawks. The 1-1 from Kimball upstairs.
Changing eye level after the low breaking ball, trying to go up top of Bumate, not biting, and now in a little bit of a hitter's count here. 2 for 8 in this tournament, 3 for 15 on the season versus the Vikings.
Viking outfielders playing a couple steps in front of the warning track. Knowing Bumate's power, the 2-1. She wanted to launch that into Bellingham Bay.
And she absolutely was looking swing on that pitch right there, and I think Allie Kimball knew it. Threw that one a little bit out and up in the zone. Tough one to get to.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Kimball delivers. She stays alive, fouls that off.
Went back to that same spot, but Bumate able to get a piece of it this time. Bumate, a second-team All-Conference Award winner this season. First All-GNAC selection in her career.
The 2-2 dance again. Just getting a piece.
Might have gotten a piece of the glove of Andrzejewski Ramirez as well. Not able to hold on, though. Do the 2-2 again.
What a battle between Kimball and Bumate.
And in a game where you expect to see a pitching duel, one swing of the bat can be all the difference, and Bumate is one of those players that can provide that difference.
The 2-2. Hot shot into left field. Past the diving Haley Rath. Good battle won by Bumate.
Excellent patience in that at-bat by Bumate. She got an off-speed pitch, waited on it, timed it up well, and just served it into left field. No chance for Rath over at shortstop despite the dive. First base hit of the game for the Nighthawks.
Third baseman Abigail Gagnon now with Bumate on first. Nobody out, bottom 2, no score. Kimball fires. The bunt, strong, right back to Kimball. The throw over in time. Second baseman Patoy covering. Sacrifice bunt. Bumate now at second base.
Perfectly executed sacrifice there. Kimball fields her position very well, was without a fielding error in the season thus far. Played that one perfectly, but NNU did what they wanted to, got the runner into scoring position.
Bell up now. She fouls that back.
Kiana Bell 0 for 7 in this tournament so far, but she's walked in both of the last 2 games and scored after both of those walks. She's seeing the ball very well right now, a tough out.
Bell playing left field today. Kimball's 0-1 to her. 0-2 as that's fouled above the fans. Sitting on the hill, many on blankets.
No better way to spend a Saturday afternoon. Some high leverage GNAC softball on a beautiful day.
Kimball the advantage, the 0-2. Fouled straight back again.
Kimball ahead in this count early, and she is throwing pitches that show that she knows she's in control. She's going right after Bell right now, forcing her to protect.
Kimball ready. The 0-2 with 1 down. Another foul back to the net.
Staying with the heat there, and Bell still able to get a piece of it. Kimball with 66 strikeouts and 109 innings pitched this year. Not the highest strikeout mark, but she does not give up hard contact. She's already got a couple of strikeouts in this game.
The 0-2 once more. Getting the strikeout. Kimball firing the fastball, and Bell cannot find it. 2 down for the Nighthawks here in the second.
Well, Kimball's made 5 outs so far in this game. 3 of them have been with a K. Second one swinging right now. She is doing very well. Still working around this runner in scoring position, though.
That's Bumate at second. Catcher Kelsey Adams looks at ball one.
Adams making just her second start in the order in this tournament. She's often a flex player as an elite defensive catcher who has had a little less success with the bat, batting 191 this season.
Kimball's 1-0. Fouled back.
The one game she started was the second game the Nighthawks played in this tournament. That was against the Vikings. She was 0 for 3. She's 2 for 12 on the season versus Western Washington. A couple of singles.
Two down, bottom two, the 1-1. Lofted, right field line, racing over into foul ground. The Viking right fielder making the catch. McKenna Crum ending the Nighthawks' threat here in the second. We'll head to the top of the third. No score here in Bellingham on GNAC.TV.
Center fielder number 16, Taylor Karami.
Welcome back in here to Viking Field. Thank you for tuning in to GNAC TV. Adam Race alongside Sean Wally on the call for you in this final Saturday. Vikings trying to pick up a win to secure a GNAC tournament title. NNU trying to force a game two, a winner-takes-all game two later today. And, you know, Sean, you go into this game, you're expecting yet another pitching duel between two of the best pitching staffs in the nation. And so far, that's what we've gotten. No runs up on the board. Furthest a batter has gotten is second base. As Karami hits one up the middle for a single. The senior comes through with a leadoff base hit.
It's always tough to decide, do you leave the up the middle open or do you leave the hole open between short and third? And they chose to play more in the hole at shortstop and couldn't get to that ball up the middle.
And Taylor Karami has been doing that consistently in this tournament. Those base hits up the middle. She's now 4 for 6 in the tournament. She's also got a steal. The Vikings only steal at bunt by McKenna Crum, not finding fair territory. This is exactly what has worked for the Vikings this year. Taylor Karami has been on fire. During that 17-game winning streak, she batted .450. She's one of the most important offensive pieces in that program record winning streak. And she can fly on the base paths as well. McKenna Crum, a really good contact hitter, put the ball in play, move the runner along. That pitch outside from Skinner. Skinner, a unanimous first-team All-GNAC selection in 2024 at ERA. Coming into this game at 1-4-6. One of the best not only in the conference, but in the nation. The Vikings are going to have to take what they can get, and that includes playing some small ball. Crum late on the swing, fouls it to the left side.
Nighthawks expecting bunt, but probably not now with 2 strikes.
McKenna Crum, a player who started off this year playing a lot of leadoff hitters. She is a player with that prototypical leadoff speed and contact ability, but she's also worked very well in the 9 spot, picking up some very clutch base hits as she's going to serve this one into center field. Racing to second is Karami, sliding in safely. Back-to-back singles to start off the top of the third inning. Western Washington has something cooking as we go to the top of the order, and Malia Andrews
Smart play by Clark in center field to get that ball quickly to second base. Play was a little closer than the Vikings wanted, but everybody safe on the base paths for Western Washington.
And this is just how you draw it up if you're Cheryl Gilmore here. The bottom two in the order getting aboard with some solid base hits, and we go back to Malia Andrews, a unanimous first team all GNAC selection. She has hurt the Nighthawks badly this season, 6 for 14 against NNU with a couple of walks, a couple of doubles, and 3 RBIs. She had an RBI double in game 1. It was a 2 RBI double between these two teams in this tournament. That broke the deadlock in this one. She has a chance to break it open in this one as well. Looks at ball 1.
Key right now is no outs. Got 2 runners on, nobody out. If you're gonna strike first, now's their opportunity for the Vikings to get that done and put all the pressure on NNU.
Eugenia Skinner, this is a nightmare situation. 2 fast runners and an elite contact batter who can also hit for power in the box. And a 2-1 count doesn't help either. Malia Andrews, 4 for 6 in this tournament with 3 walks. She's been on base 7 of her 9 plate appearances. Pitchers cannot figure out a way to get her out right now. The 2-1 pitch from Skinner, taken low.
Ooh, a bad one here, loads them up.
Cannot afford to load up the bases for Lexi Barkham on deck, already with a single in this game, but this is a big pitch right here, 3-1. Andrews has some pop in that bat. 14 doubles on the year for her, 22 extra base hits. Hits this one to the right side, that's gonna get through. Rounding third base is Karami, she will score! Malia Andrews does it again! 1-0 Western Washington.
To the delight of the Western faithful here in Bellingham. Now all the pressure goes to NNU. There is action in the Nighthawk bullpen. They're already down 1. They have to win this game to force a game 2 here today. A double elimination tournament. The Vikings beat NNU yesterday. NNU rallied in the second game of when they won 8-0 to be able to play here on Championship Saturday, but it requires them to win this game to force game 2.
It's all going wrong right here in this third inning for Gina Skinner, a player who had only given up 1 earned run in 16 innings against the Vikings coming into this game. Gives up the first mark on the scoreboard today. Who else but Malia Andrews? Another base for her. She's got 9 total bases in this tournament. To put that in perspective, Central Washington only had 10 total bases in the whole tournament, and that's in 46 combined at-bats. Lexi Barkham steps in again. She singled her first time up, looks at a first pitch strike on the outside corner, painting that one right at the edge of the zone. Runners on the corners, and the sacrifice very much in play right now for Barkham.
Still nobody out. Double play possibility with runners at the corners.
Fouled off to the left side. Skinner in major damage control mode right now with GNAC Pitcher of the Year Sydney Booth getting warm in the pen. You got to say the decision to put Skinner out there by Rich Wagner is one that makes a lot of sense with the success that she's had against the Vikings this year, but right now they finally found a way to get to her. The 0-2 off-speed pitch just fought off by Barkham. She was way off on the timing of that swing. Still somehow was able to loop the bat to ball. We saw that a lot in her first at-bat. That off-speed pitch was fooling her, but she was still able to get on base with an infield base hit her first time up.
You have to think she started that swing, and in her mind she probably said, uh-oh.
Oh no, but she got to it in the end. Stays alive at 0-2. That time got it up and away and watched it go by. McKenna Crum at third base. She can run. You don't need to get it too far into the outfield in a sacrifice fly situation. Andrews at first can also run, so an extra base hit, probably going to score 2. The 1-2, off speed, and that one just tapped off the bat of Barkham and then off the mask of Adams.
At this point, Barkham should be looking for the off-speed pitch. She's thrown multiple to her, and she's been so far in front. lucky to get a piece each time.
That's against a striker or a pitcher like Gina Skinner. You got to look for that strikeout pitch, which has been the off speed. And you're right, it has fooled her. And if she looks for it, she can time it up. You got to think that she can get a barrel on it. Skinner only 40 strikeouts in 105 innings pitched this year. Very effective, but mostly as a pitch to contact kind of player. But this is not a situation where you want to pitch to contact. You need very weak contact or a strikeout. She's got a chance here at 1-2.
If Barkham can get it over the second baseman's head, there's a huge, huge gap in right center field, but that won't happen now.
Swinging strikeout right there. Maybe Barkham was looking for the off-speed pitch because that one just blew right by her. First K of the game for Gina Skinner, and it comes in a huge spot, but it does not get any easier. We are right at the teeth of the Vikings lineup. Haley Rath stepping in now. She came in a sacrifice opportunity against NNU yesterday and came through with a fly ball out to right center. Another RBI chance for the GNAC Player of the Year. And Rath, you got to say, early on in her Vikings career is set to have one of the better Vikings careers in program history. GNAC Freshman of the Year last year, Player of the Year this year, led the team in total bases both of those seasons. Watches that one low to go to 2-0. Hitters count now for the dangerous Rath.
Rath hitting .387.
You look at the extra base hits as well, 22 on the season for her. 7 home runs, 13 doubles, and a couple of triples. 43 RBIs is second in the GNAC. Off speed, fooled her badly. You see she looked right to the dugout laughing right there. She knows that she just got put in a knot by that pitch. But it was her pitch to swing at 2-0. Good on Skinner to drop in the off speed and get her fooled. 2-1 now.
And see, at this point, if you're a hitter, you're guessing.
Ooh, guessed correctly there as the fastball went outside. 3-1, big pitch right here. We saw Malia Andrews pounce on a hitter's count to open up the scoring earlier in this inning. Can Rath do the same?
No pressure, Viking home run leader Andrew Jeske Ramirez on deck.
Rath sends it out to center field. That might drop. It does! It's going to be another run for the Vikings. Rath, a bloop single, makes it 2-0 Western Washington.
The old adage, hit it where they ain't. Ball found the turf. Outfielders playing deep because Rath has power. She got just enough of it there.
And Rath, both times up today, has timed up the swing correctly but not found full power on the connection. First time it was a lazy flyout, but this time it falls in the grass and a huge RBI, bringing up the power threat, Andrew Jeske Ramirez, someone who the Nighthawks have hated to face this season. 15 home runs on the year, 2 of them coming against NNU. Neither of those home runs, however, coming against Gina Skinner. Both of them at the expense of Sydney Booth. She got walked 3 times yesterday versus the Nighthawks. NNU did not. Oh, no, look at this. A pickle for Malia Andrews in between second and third. Tries to get back in time, but she got hung up and out. That is a big out right there. A big lapse in concentration for the freshman who, up to this point, could do no wrong.
A little bit of momentum swinging back to the Nighthawks there. Just not necessary to get that far off the base and get yourself in trouble.
How about the awareness from the catcher, Kelsey Adams, to see Andrews way off the bag and throw it down the second. A successful back pick for one of the best defensive catchers in the conference. That pitch finds the up and out corner. 2-1. Andrew Jeske Ramirez, who usually throws some big swings early on in the count, has not been free swinging in her first 2 at-bats here. She's got a hitter's count here at 2-1. See if she tries to unload on one. Watches it go by again, this time for a ball, and now she really has a count to hit in. 3-1.
Skinner in a big spot. Doesn't want to put another Viking on the base paths.
3-1 pitch, big swing, got a piece of it, sent it straight back and down towards Adams. Skinner elevated the payoff pitch there. At least payoff pitch as far as Andrzejewski-Ramirez was thinking. Now 3-2, she has to think about protecting as well.
Skinner just threw the fastball. My money's on and off speed. There it is.
And you were correct. And it might have gotten a piece of Andrzejewski-Ramirez. Either way, it was far inside. She'll take her base. Her 4th walk over her last 2 games against NNU. She is certainly the fear factor in this Vikings lineup. Now Emily Paulson steps in. Paulson grounded out to 3rd base her first time up, batting close to 500 in the tournament, around 400 against the Nighthawks this season, the senior. Looks at a first pitch ball inside. Very good eye from Paulson. Vikings forcing Skinner to work here. Paulson, the 7th batter to the plate in the 3rd. The 1-0 waited on it, but not quite long enough as she pulled it foul to the left side, down by head coach Cheryl Gilmore. GNAC Coach of the Year Cheryl Gilmore trying to add to the 2024 resume, add a title to that. Vikings are in a good spot right now, trying to extend this lead. A base hit would score Rath with 2 outs. She'll be running on anything. Off-speed pitch, just inside. Well watched once again. You got to admire the eye from Paulson.
That pitch was close.
Skinner gets the sign, the 2-1 delivery. Swung on, lifted, shallow center field. It's gonna be the second baseman, Mulligan, coming over to make the catch and retire the side, but the damage is done in the 3rd by the Vikings. Andrews and Rath come through with RBI singles. It's 2-0 Western Washington as we go bottom 3. Bottom of the 3rd inning, GNAC tournament final, game 1, Western Washington, Northwest Nazarene. Adam Race alongside Sean Wally here on GNAC TV, bringing you the coverage of this final day of GNAC play in 2024 between 2 teams who are set to continue their seasons in the NCAA tournament. Number 1 and number 2 seeds in the West region right now, and number 1 and number 2 seeds host regional play, and they both performed up to snuff in this GNAC tournament, so most likely both of these teams are going to be hosting NCAA tournament games next week, regardless of the result here today, as the 1-0 pitch from Allie Kimball to Jamie Obringer is fouled off into the evergreens.
On that note, Adam, I was speaking to Commissioner Dave Hagland before the game, and he believes, as you just mentioned, that both teams will most likely be hosting this coming week.
Exciting times for the GNAC. It's not very often in recent memory that we see 2 elite national teams in this conference. Back in 2011, both NNU and Western Washington were ranked, but before 2024, Western Washington had not been nationally ranked in over a decade, Team 32 has just come through as arguably the most impressive squad in the Division II history of this program. Swing and a miss. Obringer goes down hacking. And Allie Kimball, her 4th strikeout here in the 3rd inning. You got to say, Allie Kimball has not been pitching like a freshman today on the biggest of stages. That's something we've seen all year for her. Her first appearance of the year was coming into the 10th inning against a number 17 nationally ranked Concordia University Irvine team with a runner on 3rd, holding the runner and having the Vikings hold on for their first win this season against a ranked opponent. That would become a pattern for the Vikings as they establish themselves as the best team in the West region. But from the very beginning of the season, Cheryl Gilmore has been saying Allie Kimball is not your typical freshman as far as handling these high leverage situations go. As she gets that in for a strike, 1-1 to Ava Clark.
Adam, I'm a bit surprised after the Bats woke up yesterday afternoon for NNU in that 8-0 victory that they've seemed to gone back a little bit and regressed again as they did in the first 2 games of the tournament.
I mean, that's what this pitching staff does to opposing hitters. One of the best in the nation, pitching to a ERA around 1.5. Both of these teams, top 20 teams in the nation as far as team ERA goes. The 1-2 pitch hits the left side. Clark's gonna drop that one in for a base hit. Think about 2, but she's gonna be held at first base. So a late swing just bloops it over the infield into the first couple feet of the outfield grass. And a 1-out base runner for Northwest Nazarene, Ava Clark. Second single of the day for Northwest Nazarene. It goes back to the top of the order in Emma Mulligan, and Mulligan has performed just how you want to see your leadoff hitter perform on the big stage here. She's 5 for 11 so far in this tournament. 3 RBIs for a double. She's had a hit in every single game of this tournament. Versus the Vikings this season, she's 9 of 23. And she's also gotten a hit in every game that she's played against Western Washington this year. 0-1 count to her after the first ball is fouled back into the crowd. That one sent to left field, not enough on it, staying in the yard. Barkham gloves it, throws it in. So solid contact there from the leadoff hitter Mulligan, but skies it a little bit too much, and Barkham makes the play. 2 away.
It's perfect positioning in left field. Couple steps in for Barkham. Easy squeeze on the catch.
Something unique about this Northwest Nazarene lineup. They can hit home runs as a team. There's only a couple spots that are particularly strong home run threats. Everyone can hit it over the fences. That one is hit really hard into the Northwest Nazarene bullpen by Clarissa Moreno. Talk about home runs. She had one of Northwest Nazarene's 2 4-baggers yesterday against St. Martin's. Now at 5 home runs on the season. 6 players in this Northwest Nazarene order have at least 4 home runs. Only 4 such players on Western's lineup, with 15 of those coming from Emma Andrzejewski-Ramirez. Kimball, 0-1 delivery to Moreno, way up and away. Back pick by Andrzejewski-Ramirez, keeping Clark honest over at first base. Clark is a flight risk. 12 of 16 on steals this season. Northwest Nazarene better at swiping bags than anyone else in the GNAC in 2024. The 1-1 fouled back. Clark was taking off on that pitch, a hit and run that ends up with a foul ball. So Andrzejewski-Ramirez has to keep an eye on Clark. The big catcher transfer from BYU, Division I, had a caught stealing yesterday against NNU, something the Vikings haven't had a whole lot of this season.
Moreno in this tournament only hitting 182, but she did have a home run yesterday.
When she makes contact, it is for power as Andrzejewski-Ramirez looks Clark back to first base again. 2-2 now the count. Kimball in her 21st start of the year and the biggest of her young WW career. 2-2 up and away. Count runs full with 2 outs here. Sydney Booth waiting on deck. Someone who is due to break out. Right now, Kimball still has to deal with Moreno. Doesn't want to lose her and put a runner in scoring position. The full count pitch. Swung on, lifted out to left field, sending the outfielders back to the track, but Barkham makes the play at the cut of the blue to the green grass, and that will retire the side here in the 3rd. Runner aboard in Clark, but no damage done by Northwest Nazarene. We go top 4, Vikings 2, Nighthawks nothing.
Leading off the 4th inning for the Vikings is second baseman, number 15, Connie Pator.
Top of the 4th inning here, Western Washington in the unusual situation of playing as the away team at their home field here at Viking Field, having lost the coin toss at the beginning of this one. Spatoy fouls that straight off the plate and off herself as well for foul ball strike 1. Good news for the Vikings is they have done extremely well in away games this year. It's a team that's only lost a couple of away games, only lost 1 true away game this season, and that was in their final road trip to Western Oregon. The 0-1 served into right center field. That's getting all the way to the warning track, but cut off very well in right field by Obringer. Took a really good route to that ball and prevented Patoy from getting extra bases, but a leadoff base runner once again, back-to-back innings with leadoff singles for the Vikings. It caused trouble for Skinner last time. And that might be it for Gina Skinner, as Rich Wagner is gonna go to the pen, and it's gonna be Sydney Booth, the 3-time GNAC Pitcher of the Year, coming in to do some damage control. Keep this at a 2-run deficit, give the bats an opportunity to find their way back into it.
You've got to pull out all the stops. If you don't win this game, your GNAC championship chance is done. Already down 2-0. First hitter reaches base by any means necessary.
Yesterday, Sydney Booth picked up the win against St. Martin's. That was a 6-inning complete game shutout. Her second complete game shutout of this GNAC tournament. She started off tournament play with a 7-inning, 3-hitter against Central Washington, in which she did not walk a batter, or excuse me, walked a handful of batters and struck out 7. She's had a bit of control issues in this tournament. The Vikings were able to get to her. Chased her after just 3 innings yesterday. Forced her to give up 3 runs, only 1 of them earned. In that game, Booth issued 5 walks. So before that start versus St. Martin's in tournament play, she had issued 9 walks over 10 innings. Very uncharacteristic for Booth, who has carved out one of the best careers in GNAC history, as Jacobson is successfully able to lay down the no-outs bunt right back to Booth and send Patoy over to second base.
Advancing the runner into scoring position. Little things done right over and over add up to good things.
And that has been the name of the game for the Vikings, that consistency. It seems every single game, if the pitching isn't doing everything right, then the hitting is doing everything right, or they both are. And that's led to this 41-win season now. They continue to extend that program record. They are now 41-7, surpassing the 2011 team, which won 37 games. 1-0, up high. Karami, one of the players providing the experience, the senior center fielder who singled her first time up right up the middle.
Sydney Booth into the game in the circle. Her ERA in this championship tournament, .44.
That one's just a bit outside. Sydney Booth has won back-to-back MVPs of this tournament, as NNU has won the last 2 tournament titles. She now has 5 career complete game shutouts in GNAC tournament play, including a no-hitter. She's got a 3-0 count here. You see that control issues continuing. She's already issued 9 walks in this tournament, and now she's given up a 3-1 count to Karami, who isn't a power threat, but can certainly get aboard.
She's also blown away 16 hitters, 16 strikeouts in this tournament.
That one is in there for a called strike 2. Karami watching a couple go by after the 3-0 count. Booth is able to work it back to full. Runner in scoring position. Karami batting a very good 301 on the season. 10 RBIs for her. The 3-2. Outside, Sydney Booth walks Taylor Karami after allowing the sacrifice to Jacobson. A couple of productive ABs for Western Washington, and that goes back now to McKenna Crum. Singled her first time up and came around to score. Crum just served one into shallow outfielder first time up after a good battle of an AB against Skinner. Crum batting .283 in the 9th spot. Really shows the depth that this Vikings order has. There is not a weak spot. Every single player has a way that they can hurt you. Lowest batting average in this order right now is Connie Patoy, but she's standing at second base right now. Clearly worked out for her. The 1-0. Crum out to center field, chasing the center fielder back. It's over her head. 1 run will score. 2 runs are going to score. Crum stands up at second with a 2 RBI double. The Vikings are up 4-0 in a possible clincher.
A dagger, a dart over the center fielder's head, playing too shallow. Unable to get there. Typically the 9-hitter, not a lot of pop, but Crum found some there.
They doubted the power of McKenna Crum, and she made them pay over the head of Clark. If she was playing at normal depth, that would have been right to her, but very shallow. Chased her back and couldn't get to it. 7th double the season for McKenna Crum. RBIs 16 and 17. None bigger for her in this season than right there. Back-to-back run-scoring innings for Western Washington against an NNU team who have just been untouchable all season.
Crum was only hitting .143 in this tournament. She'll take that double all day.
Second base hit of the game for McKenna Crum. She's got a single and a double now. The Western Washington dugout is hyped up, and this crowd is excited. Northwest Nazarene has a lot of work to do. And right back, of course, to Malia Andrews now. Andrews has found every which way to hurt her opponents in this tournament and all season. She's got a triple in this tournament, a double, a few singles, a handful of RBIs. She's batting over 500. Her total bases mark is almost at the level of entire teams who have competed in this 2024 GNAC tournament. And a single here would probably tack on another run with Crum's speed. Watches a ball 2 fall outside. Booth, no stranger to the big spots, but she has to buckle in here.
Andrews leading all hitters in this tournament with a .667 average.
Pitchers have not been able to stop her at all. She gets a called strike on the inside corner there.
The appeal to third base. She did not go on the check swing.
And that brings it to a 3-1 count. It was a 3-1 count that Andrews hit into right field her first time up for an RBI. And she wanted to go down to first base on that pitch, but Booth caught the outside corner. Andrews, a thorn in the side of the Nighthawks all season. And it just continues here in postseason play. Can she do it again? Full count, the delivery. Fouled straight back, will do it again. Andrews, a unanimous first team all GNAC selection, was definitely on the short list for GNAC Freshman of the Year. That ended up going to Heather Ebner. But as impressive as a freshman campaign as you're going to see here from the Vikings leadoff hitter, she skies this one a mile high. It's staying in the infield. The shortstop, Moreno, makes the squeeze and gets a big second out. And up comes Lexi Barkham, a single and a strikeout swinging so far in this game.
Barkham hitting 200 this weekend.
Fouls it back towards the broadcast table. A little bit short, though. Sean Wally was ready to make the catch. Already with one catch on one fielding opportunity in this tournament.
I probably would have tumbled over the rail had I tried.
Would have been majestic. Put on a show for the big crowd here.
Except for the broken bones.
Except for that. The 0-1 pitch in there, 0-2. Barkham, prototypical contact hitter, batting from the left side, running out of the box as she swings, or in that case, as she takes the pitch. Her single today was on the infield, up the middle, something that Mulligan couldn't do enough about. Was able to stop it with the glove, but hustling Barkham got in with the first hit of this day.
Important for Booth right now to get the third out, stop the bleeding at 4-0, and get back in the dugout.
A 4-run deficit against this Vikings team is tough to overcome, but NNU is going to have to try as Barkham strikes out swinging to end the top of the 4th inning. Vikings double their lead. We go bottom 4, Western Washington 4, Northwest Nazarene nothing.
Number 24, the designated player, Sydney Booth.
Well, Sydney Booth steps into the batter's box. She needs to help herself out, help her team out, something that she is very used to doing. A 3-time GNAC Pitcher of the Year, a previous GNAC Player of the Year, GNAC Freshman of the Year, simply one of the finest careers in conference history. But here in her senior season, She's got to help the Nighthawks claw back into a game which has gotten away from them a little bit. 4-0 Vikings. This is as big of a deficit as we've seen all season in the matchup between these two teams, as Booth fouls that one back onto the shed. And we're going to be watching our heads for that one to roll back onto us. The 0-2 count here from Kimball to Booth. Just a bit outside. Kimball has done excellently here in her first GNAC tournament final. Hopefully for Cheryl Gilmore and the Western Washington faithful, we'll see Kimball in a few more GNAC tournament finals as Team 32 has built the start of what has the makings of a dynasty. A young pitching staff, all three members of this elite pitching staff returning next season, the oldest of which is Joey Baker, who is a junior. 2-2 to Booth, fouled back once again. Remains 2-2.
Kimball's ERA in this championship tournament, 0.
Their start against St. Martin's yesterday. 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs allowed before Cheryl Gilmore went to the pen in Kiana Kong. Would not be surprised to see Kong come out of the pen, who has been, as far as ERA goes, the best pitcher in the conference this season. A perfect 1-2 punch. Baker to Kong, Kimball to Kong. It has been extremely effective all season. Part of that 41 wins program record. The 2-2. Booth hits it hard out to right center field, but Crum is able to track over and make the catch. Perfect jump, perfect route to the ball, and retires Sydney Booth on a ball in play that I'm sure she thinks deserved extra bases.
Booth just unable to find some luck out there on the offensive side. She's a good hitter and got a lot of that one, but great job in right field tracking that one down.
Booth has had the bad luck at the wrong time. She's 0 for 11 in this tournament, despite the fact that she only struck out once. Put the ball in play, just not getting it down. First pitch is a strike in there to Emma Bumate. Singled her first time up, one of 2 base hits the Nighthawks have off of Kimball. Homered yesterday deep into left center field. The 0-1 from Kimball. This one's hit to right center. Karami chasing in, and she gets there. Back-to-back balls hit well out to right center. First time Crum made the catch, and now Karami, one of the best defensive outfielders in conference history, makes it look easy. Taylor Karami has just 3 errors in 5 seasons with Western Washington.
That's impressive.
Very impressive. She saw an outfield assist from her yesterday. That one is popped up to the right side. Batoy is under it. A very efficient 1, 2, 3, 4th. Kimball is rolling right now. We go top 5, Vikings 4, Nighthawks nothing. It's all Western Washington right now in the GNAC tournament final, trying to make it a one-and-done day and pick up a piece of tournament silverware for Team 32, the most successful team in Western Washington's Division II history, at least as far as the regular season goes. They're trying to capture the third GNAC tournament title in program history. 2017 and 2021, the last 2 years, the Vikings came out of this tournament victorious. And this is a rematch of last year's GNAC tournament final. That was up in Burnaby, campus of Simon Fraser University. Northwest Nazarene came through the winner's bracket, and they were able to get it done, one and done, on Championship Saturday as Rath fouls one back to go to 2-1. Rath already with an RBI single in this game.
I'm kind of liking Championship Saturdays.
This
is my, let's see, basketball. I've done basketball, GNAC, baseball, now softball.
Sean Wally, GNAC, voice of GNAC tournament play, really. As Rath lifts that one in the infield, gloved at third base. And Rath goes down quietly to start out the 5th inning. Gagnon making the squeeze on it, bringing up Andrzejewski Ramirez. A walk and a fly out in this game so far. You're watching GNAC.TV. Adam Race alongside Sean Wally on the call for you. That one's way up and away to Sydney Booth, who definitely has to be careful with Andrzejewski Ramirez. A couple of home runs that the big catcher has gotten off of Booth this season, including a walk-off. That was in the regular season series played here between these two teams. Off-speed pitch just a little high there. 2-0.
Close, very close, but a ball is the call.
And Sean, I have been surprised at-bat after at-bat with how patient Andrzejewski Ramirez has been. We haven't seen a whole lot of big swings from her. She got walked 3 times yesterday, so maybe she knows she's got a good chance of getting on base. She's at 3-0 here, but she is someone who likes to take a hack and send it over the fence when she can.
Well, pitchers know she can send one over the wall in the outfield in a hurry. 15 home runs on the year. As you know, you saw a lot of those here personally.
Shows bunt and pulls it back. 3-1 now, and I'd be shocked if she didn't try to get a hold of one here. Booth, perhaps even at 3-1, wanting to pitch around her, put her on base. The 3-1, big hack there, and she wasn't able to get to the pitch. And of course, there's the 15 home runs, but if you add every ball that she's hit 250 feet foul, you'd have 25 or more. I mean, she catches barrels. 3-2. Opposite field, back to the track, but making the catch is Obringer. So Andrzejewski Ramirez gets a piece of that one, but not quite enough, as there is 2 away here in the top of the 5th.
The Vikings couldn't ask for this game to go much better.
You're absolutely right.
Close.
We talked about getting early run support. That's exactly what we've seen.
Tight, close contest for the first 2 innings. Vikings break through in the 3rd and the 4th. They're sitting pretty up 4-0. A win, and the championship in the GNAC is theirs.
NNU scoring 4 runs against the Vikings, something they haven't. That's a great catch out in right field. Obringer diving into foul ground to end the 5th inning, flashing the leather in right to get Paulson out. We go bottom 5, a quick 1-2-3, top of the 5th. It's still 4-0 Western Washington.
Nighthawks, number 13, KK Bell.
KK Bell steps in after striking out, swinging her first time up. Allie Kimball still in the circle, and she is spinning a gem right now as Bell gets a hold of the first pitch. Line drive, left field, a single to start things off in the bottom of the 5th inning. That's what NNU needs. They need leadoff base runners, and they need a lot of base runners here if they're going to get back this 4-run deficit.
Nighthawks need more of that. 4 runs, not insurmountable. We saw how quickly things worked out for Western Washington in the 3rd and the 4th. NNU not done yet.
We have Kelsey Adams up next, a player who this season has mostly been a defensive specialist catcher, but playing this game as a part of the order so that Gina Skinner wouldn't have to bat, who started this game. Skinner now relieved by Sydney Booth after a tough start. Adams lays down the bunt, and it's well done. Moves the runner along to second base in Bell. Final line for Gina Skinner today was 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Since then, Sydney Booth has thrown 2 innings, given up an earned run of her own, a walk, and a strikeout. As conversation in the circle here. Just getting on the same page. Looks like Cheryl Gilmore not yet going to her pen, though. You do see Kiana Kong in the dugout, warm, ready to come in when called upon. And my guess is that at this point in the game, as we've seen this season, the leash is going to be short for Kimball. If she gets in any kind of trouble, Kong will come in to try to shut the door. And here steps Jamie Obringer, and what a tournament she has had for Northwest Nazarene. Batting in the bottom part of the order for most of the tournament, but she's produced. She's got a 6-game hitting streak right now. First pitch is a strike. She's 4 for 8 in the tournament with a 2 RBI double that she hit against the Vikings yesterday, which brought the game to within 1, but the Vikings able to hold on for a 4-2 victory. The 0-1, just above the zone.
Good eye there to even the count.
Kimball's thrown 54 pitches. She's given up 3 hits, hasn't walked a batter, struck out 4. Still zeros up on the board for Northwest Nazarene. That catches the inside corner, 1-2. Command has been there all day from the freshman. Not a lot of 3-ball counts and a lot of pitches right on the edge of the strike zone. Obringer, the sophomore, batting .283 this season. She's struck out looking. That one right down the pipe froze Obringer, and Kimball has strikeout number 5.
You've got to protect with 2 strikes. Being down 4 runs, got to go up there swinging.
Absolutely, Sean. That is one that Obringer will want back. She's not going to get it back, though. Backwards K on the scorecard. She heads back to the dugout. We go to Ava Clark, who singled her first time up. And now with the runner in scoring position and 2 outs, a crucial moment for NNU to try to start some kind of rally. Clark, a 9-spot hitter, also providing the pregame entertainment for NNU, some acrobatics. We saw pregame these 2 teams dueling in acrobatics. The backflips from Clark and Hanako Hirai doing the worm for the Vikings. You decide who won that battle. 1-0, ground to the left side, gloved by Andrews, throws on to first in time to retire the side in the 5th. Another clean inning for Allie Kimball. We go top of the 6th inning, Western Washington 4-0 in the lead.
Connie Patrol.
We head to the 6th inning. Connie Patoy leading things off for Western Washington. They lead it 4-0. Sean Wally with Adam Race. Sean Altenhofen giving you these great pictures, helping us sound better than we do. Thank you for tuning in on GNAC.tv. If this lead holds, Western Washington will have the 2024 GNAC Championship. 2 innings left for NNU to find some runs. They're down 4.
6 outs to work with for the Nighthawks against a Vikings pitching staff, which has just given them fits this year, and it continues here today.
Patoy, a solid single, 1 hop into center field. Leadoff base hit for the Vikings.
Second time Connie Patoy has led off an inning with a single. She did the same back in the 4th. She came around to score in that inning as well.
First baseman Ashley Jacobson from the right side.
Patoy came into this game 0 for 6 in the tournament, but already in this game, she's 2 for 3 with 3 solid pieces of contact.
Shows bunt, fouls it away.
Now this is a mirror image of the 4th inning. A leadoff single from Patoy, and now Jacobson trying to bunt her to second base. She did so successfully on the first pitch back in the 4th, but she's going to need at least 1 more to try to do it here. Jacobson, a unanimous first-team All-GNAC selection, her first season after transferring.
That one skied to shallow center field. Easily making the catch is Ava Clark. 1 out for the Vikings here in the 6th.
Jacobson does have the power, tried to go after one there, just got under it, sent it a mile high. Easy play out in center for Clark.
Center fielder Taylor Karami now for Western Washington with 1 down in the 6th. They lead it 4-0. She takes ball 1.
Karami, a single and a walk so far in this game, and she's scored 2 runs. Certainly a speed threat, and had a very successful GNAC tournament so far, batting .500 at 3 for 6.
Booth misses low and outside. It's 2-0.
It's just been uncharacteristic in this tournament for Booth. She's had a lot of control issues. We've talked about the walks, but also just getting down early in the count. And the Vikings have been able to take advantage of it.
Booth, the 2-0. Inside corner for strike 1.
He's able to locate that one just about perfectly. Karami leaning back, but still catching the zone.
Outfielders straight away for Karami. The 2-1. Outside corner for strike 2.
Inside corner right to the outside corner. Booth, really good comeback in this count after 2 balls to start things off.
The 2-2. Karami line drive to second base. Caught out there. The throw to first. Patoy back safe. Mulligan the catch on the line drive. 2 down for the Vikings here in the 6th.
It's a close play over at first base. Well done by Connie Patoy, diving back just a split second in time to avoid an unfortunate double play.
Bottom of the order for McKenna Crum. She had the deep drive to center that got over the head of Clark earlier in the ballgame.
What a game for McKenna Crum. A single, a double. She's come around to score as well, and big 2 RBIs. And I mean, she's just been one of the unsung heroes of this Vikings team that has so many heroes.
That pitch outside evens the count at 1-1.
And you can tell immediately here the NNU outfield is playing a little further back than they were her last time up.
Can't get burned like that again.
Cannot do it.
The 1-1. Crum, a slow roller to second. Quick throw. Safe at first base is Crum, using her speed up the line. Not a lot Mulligan could do. That ball was hit so slowly. Just died in the dirt.
For 3 on the day. McKenna Crum, 2 singles and a double coming through when the lights are brightest. And that time, that is just a classic speedy infield base hit. The play perhaps a little bit difficult for Mulligan, as running down the line was Patoy, not interfering, but making it a little more tough.
Top of the order now, Malia Andrews takes a look at strike one. 2 down for the Vikings here in the 6th. They're looking for insurance runs. They lead it 4-0 and 2 runners on base.
Andrews was victim of a pop-outer last time up.
Andrews swinging at that outside pitch, 0-2 quickly.
During the regular season, top 10 in batting average, slugging percentage, doubles, and triples, leading a Viking freshman class that boasted 3 All-GNAC selections. That's the most freshman All-GNAC players of any team in the conference. This is a dynasty brewing in Bellingham.
Booth, the 0-2. Changeup gets her swinging, and that ends the Viking threat here in the 6th. 6 outs left for NNU. They need runs in a hurry. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. 4-0 Vikings on GNAC.TV. Top of the order for NNU, Emma Mulligan steps in the box here in the bottom of the 6th. Sean Wally with Adam Race, the 2024 GNAC Softball Championships. And we have a new pitcher in the circle.
Kiana Kong coming into this game as perhaps the most effective pitcher in the conference. Right now leading the conference with a 1.28 ERA in her freshman season. This is her 32nd appearance in relief. She is pitching right now through 93.1 innings to an opposing batting average of just 188, 61 strikeouts, and 16 walks. 16 walks, only 17 earned runs against her. Just 4 extra base hits she's allowed this season. She relieves Allie Kimball, comes out of this game having pitched in a very good 5.0, 3 hits allowed, no earned runs, no walked, 5 Ks. What a performance from your freshman starting pitcher in the biggest game of the season.
Dominating pitching all tournament by Kimball. Kong doing great things as well. She's looking for a 6-out save to secure a GNAC championship. Count will go to 1-2 as Mulligan fouls that away.
So far in the GNAC tournament, Kong has come in relief twice. She's pitched 6 innings, allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2, struck out 2, and as she has all season, not allowing an extra base hit. Not a lot of barrels to come against Kiana Kong.
Kong's 1-2. Fastball.
That's unfortunate there. Malia Andrews' glove for that, just foul. She made a really good play to get the runner in time, but it's not gonna count, to the disappointment of the Vikings crowd here who thought that one was in play. But we're gonna do that one again. But nonetheless, Andrews able to show off the glove.
Great job at third. That ball was on the left side of the bag, at least from our vantage point. Home plate umpire agreed. Kong ready, rocks the 1-2. That fastball just fires in there.
Just a little bit outside, and you talk about the stuff from Kiana Kong, that fastball and movement as well. That's the reason that Opposing batters have just not been able to get solid contact against her. 3 doubles and a home run, the only extra base hits she's given up this season.
Mulligan way in front of that. Count remains 2-2.
You look at the numbers Kong has put up against Northwest Nazarene, who have been the second best offense in the GNAC this year. She's pitched 8 total innings against them. She's only allowed 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and 1 walk, so 2 earned base runners by the Nighthawks against Kong this season. They need at least 4 if they're going to come back into this one.
The 2-2 again to Mulligan. Slow roller to short. Easily gobbled up. The throw across is in time. Nice job by Rath at shortstop. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th.
Rath has had a little bit of a tough tournament as far as fielding is gone. She had an error in both games leading up to this, but routine there and makes the play very effectively.
Clarissa Moreno now, the shortstop for the Nighthawks.
Moreno, the power threat, the home run yesterday.
That pitch downstairs, ball 1.
This is a battle between 2 teams who came into this season ranked number 1 and number 2 in the GNAC preseason poll. Northwest Nazarene, though, they received all 7 first place votes.
Ground ball to third, and it gets on past the third baseman, Andrews, right between the wickets.
Just didn't get the glove down to the dirt there. Visibly frustrated with herself on that one. That's a play that she can make, she has made, and she should make in that situation. So now 1 on, 1 out for the teeth of the NNU lineup. Sydney Booth followed by Emma Bumate. This might be the best opportunity that they get to get back into this one.
Got to take advantage of miscues like that when given the opportunity. 1 down, bottom 6. Runner on first for Booth. A pitch over the outside corner for strike 1.
That's what Kong has done all season, just pump in strikes. Her and Kimball have been 2 of the best control pitchers in the GNAC. Not a lot of free bases, and uncharacteristic of the Vikings defense to give up an error there, as they've had one of the best fielding seasons in program history.
Easy grounder to short. Patoy to second for the out. Booth safe at first.
Good job getting the lead runner there. Patoy not too aggressive on the ground ball, let it come to her, and that might be the reason they weren't able to turn 2, but still very well done. Get the lead off runner and get 2 away here. Put that tying run still firmly in the dugout.
Emma Bumate has to be going up there, looking to do what she did yesterday and hit a home run. Going down the right field line, but that's foul.
You look at Sydney Booth, she's now 0 for 12 in this tournament. That is frustrating for the leader on this Nighthawks team to be scuffling at such a crucial point in the season. Looks like we're going to see a pinch runner here coming into the game is going to be Emily Romero, pinch running for Sydney Booth, who was aboard on the fielder's choice. Romero, the sophomore out of East Vale, California.
We've seen her pinch run a few times in this weekend tournament.
She's pinch ran in all 3 games Northwest Nazarene has played in this tournament. She's got 1 run scored.
Kong's 0-1. Bumate back up the middle off of Kong. But the force out at second. Nice job out there by Haley Rath to end the Nighthawks in the 6th. 3 innings left. 3 innings, 3 outs left for NNU. But first, the Vikings come back up in the top of the 7th. They lead it 4-0 here in Bellingham on GNAC.TV. Vikings hoping this is their final at-bats. They lead 4-0. The visiting team in their home ballpark. A win, and they get their third GNAC Softball Championship. Lexi Barkham leading things off, the 0-1. Foul back this way. Quickly 0-2 to the Viking left fielder.
Barkham led off with her first at-bat. Second at-bat of the game was a single right up the middle. Since then has struck out swinging twice. Vikings would love to tack on some insurance, although the way we've seen Kiana Kong shut down games this year, 4 is work enough for NNU to try to get back into this one. Trying to put no doubt in the minds of the bumper crowd here at Viking Field.
The 1-2 outside, count even, 2-2. Booth in the circle for NNU, took over for Gina Skinner. The 2-2. Swinging strike 3, that ball out of the strike zone, but Barkham went fishing, came up empty.
So Barkham now 3 swinging strikeouts for in the game.
Haley Rath now, the Viking shortstop, with an opportunity in the 7th, looks at strike 1.
Rath, RBI single back in the 3rd, pop out in the 5th in the infield, and a fly out to left field back in the 1st inning.
Booth's 0-1 to Rath. She was dialing long distance there, but nobody answered. 0-2 to the GNAC Player of the Year.
Just an excellent sophomore season for Haley Rath, doing a bit of everything. She's led the Vikings in total bases her first 2 seasons in blue and white.
That's upstairs, ball 1. Sean Wally with Adam Race here at Viking Field on the campus of Western Washington University for the 2024 GNAC Softball Championships. And Rath laces that to shortstop. Great glove out there by Moreno. She throws across to get the out. 2 down for the Vikings.
Emma Andrzejewski-Ramirez up here, and Nighthawks pitching has wanted no piece of Andrzejewski-Ramirez in this tournament. Pitched around her for the most part, walked her 4 times in 2 games now. And that has been the pattern for her. She strikes fear into pitchers, and with good reason. You look at the 15 home runs, one of the leaders in slugging percentage, most RBIs in the conference.
That one back our way, off the roof and probably on top of our heads here momentarily. 0-1 the count to the Viking catcher. Booth rocks, fires. Strike 2.
Sean Wally getting a taste of the multitasking that is broadcasting here at Viking Field. You got to call the game and you got to protect yourself.
I'm 1 for 1 in catch opportunities.
Perfect fielding percentage.
Booth, the 0-2, low and outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 down for the Vikings here, and what they hope is their final at-bats. They lead 4-0 in the 7th. The 1-2, belted but foul.
And
Way out in front.
I mentioned this earlier. If you count the balls that she's hit well far enough to be a home run to her total tally, I mean, you're talking about 30, 40 home runs. A lot of the times she gets a barrel, but she's so early on it that it's not even close to being fair.
One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down. Top 7. Vikings lead it 4-0. The 1-2. That one fouled back into the crowd. Lands safely in the grass. The 1-2 again. That one's laced into left field, but right at the NNU left fielder making the grab out there is Bell, and that ends the Vikings' 7th. It's down to it for the Nighthawks. They need 4 runs to stay alive, 5 to win it and force a game 2. 4-0 Vikings on GNAC.TV. Now or never for the Nighthawks. They trail 4-0 Western Washington. In the lead, a victory secures their 3rd GNAC Softball Championship. Double elimination tournament, and the Vikings have not lost this weekend. Nighthawks lost to the Vikings yesterday for their first loss.
A lot of smiles in the crowd here at Viking Field, but this is not a victory march. This is a dangerous NNU team throughout the entire order. These 3 outs are going to be earned.
Abigail Gagnon sends one to short. What a great play out there by the Vikings, Haley Raff.
Oh my, what a grab by Rath, trailing off to her left side, off balance throw, and the pick in the dirt by Ashley Jacobson. The moment was big and the play was even bigger by Haley Rath to deny a leadoff base runner.
2 outs left for the Nighthawks in this one. Left fielder Kayana Bell now looks at ball 1.
And we already saw an error last inning by the Vikings infield, but more than making up for it on that play there. Kayana Bell singled her last time up, struck out swinging her first time up.
The 1-0 from Kong. Hit the second base. Katoy has it. 2 down for NNU. And the Vikings, they're faithful. They can smell it, they can taste it. 1 out remaining for a Viking GNAC championship in softball.
Ready to explode here at Viking Field. Vikings have won 2 GNAC softball tournaments before. They've never done it at home, though. What a finish to conference play this would be. We've got a pinch hitter here. It is Mari Kamemoto, the junior out of Seattle, Washington, the Bishop Blanchette alum, stepping in, the final hope for Northwest Nazarene.
No pressure. You've been sitting majority of the weekends. Come off the bench and keep the game alive. 2 down for NNU, down to their final out. Strike 1 on the outside corner from Kong.
Kamemoto, her first at-bat in this tournament. She's 0 for 6 against the Vikings this season with 2 strikeouts.
Cheering from the Viking dugout and their faithful fans here at Viking Field. The 0-1 from Kong. Looks good, it is. 0-2. Kamemoto going up there. Hasn't taken the bat off her shoulder yet. Down to their last strike are the Nighthawks.
Kong looking to send this crowd into euphoria.
Kong, the 0-2. Over the outside corner, and the Western Washington Vikings are your 2024 GNAC Softball Champions.
Team 32 has done it Another huge win against Northwest Nazarene for the first time since 2021. Western Washington University are your GNAC Softball Tournament champions. The 42nd victory of the season for a squad that has provided magic time in and time out. And once again, a dominating performance on the biggest stage, 4-0. NNU couldn't get anything going against one of the best pitching staffs in the country. Allie Kimball with the win, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, no runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Kiana Kong, the 6-out save, 20 pitches, no hits, no runs, 1 strikeout, perfect in relief. And with the bats, Vikings did just enough. McKenna Crum, a huge 2 RBI double, a 3-for-3 day. That really tells the story of this Western Washington team. They've gotten production in big spots from every part of the lineup. Coming into this game, you don't think the difference is gonna be the bat of McKenna Crum, but she proved us wrong here. She came through, put it over the center fielder's head, and played it a couple. This is a team that just wins in every way imaginable. Thoroughly deserving of this championship, and their season is not done. They're going to be back next week hosting West Regional play. And, you know, the way they've been playing this year, you got to give them a shot at making a bigger postseason run in the NCAA tournament as they get a standing round of applause from a huge crowd here at Viking Field, and boy, do they deserve it.
Very few holes in this Viking team. Got to enjoy this moment, winning the conference championship. But both these teams will most likely be hosting regional tournaments this next week. Of course, Selection Sunday is tomorrow, so we'll know officially tomorrow afternoon.
Vikings, the #1 seed coming into this tournament in the West Region, showing exactly why. Big kudos to head coach and GNAC Coach of the Year, Cheryl Gilmore, her second GNAC Tournament Championship as head coach of this program. And she has put together a really special team here. 42 wins is a program record. She just has built a team that you can't find a way to beat them. NNU is a great team. Congratulations to them on a great GNAC season. They'll continue in postseason play, and I'm sure that they'll be looking to make a run in the NCAA tournament as they did last year. But the team to beat right now is Western Washington University. As the players receive their championship t-shirts, get ready to receive the hardware. First time they've won it here at home.
All smiles, clapping, cheering all around for the Viking faithful as they get their 3rd GNAC Softball Championship. Adam, so many people make this happen. So many people help put this on that people don't necessarily see or know about. The commissioner of the GNAC is Dave Haglund, Assistant Commissioner Bridget Tetta, Assistant Commissioner of Communications Evan O'Kelly. Of course, here, hosting an event like this is big for the school and takes a lot of people at Western Washington University. Jim Sturk, the athletic director, Jeff Evans, the athletic director of communications. So many people that I don't get to name, don't have time to name. It takes a lot to put on a tournament like this.
Absolutely. A lot of hands went into making this happen. A great GNAC weekend of softball ending in the best way possible. All the parents, of course, all the fans, the crew here at Viking TV, John Altenhofen doing the hard work over a long weekend, and we're going to be right back here on Viking TV next week if the Vikings are to host West Regional. It's looking very good right now. I'd like to say for me personally, it has been a privilege and an honor to call this GNAC regular season for Western Washington, and hope to see them make some more magic in the coming weeks in NCAA tournament play.
Well, Adam, it was great having you. You're doing awesome work up here at Western Washington, a place near and dear to my heart as well. And thanks to Zen Hill, also was on the broadcast and doing PA duties when he wasn't on the broadcast. Again, what a great tournament we had here. The Western Washington Vikings get their 3rd GNAC Softball Championships. And for both these teams, look forward to Selection Sunday tomorrow and the regionals next week.
Absolutely, and as we said, these are the top 2 teams in the West region, number 1 and number 2 coming in, and they proved their mettle here. As some more rounds of applause for this GNAC tournament champion team.
And there is the trophy, the hardware with Western Washington, their 3rd championship.
Western Washington won in 2021 and 2017, only one-time regular season champions back in 2007. This is going to be their 6th appearance in the NCAA Division II tournament, a program that won the NAIA National Championship in 1998. And from what I've seen, this is a squad geared up to make a deep postseason run.
It will all be told starting next week, most likely right back here at Viking Field. For Adam Race, John Altenhofen, everybody at the GNAC and Western Washington University, thank you for tuning in. Congratulations to the Western Washington Vikings, your 2024 GNAC Softball Champions. This is GNAC.